Assalamu alaikum. So this is the second page of the same worksheet, that is chemical bonding, and page number 2, question number 12. So continuing, which compound has ionic bonds? So ionic bond is always formed between a metal and a non-metal atom, in which the metal is always going to lose electron, will have a positive charge, and the non-metal will have to gain and have a negative charge. So there should be the opposite charge attraction, so it is the C, as sodium is a metal, chlorine is a non-metal, so the bond between these two must be ionic bond. Question number 13. Which formula represent a compound containing 3 atoms? So this is a very simple question. We choose water as we have 2 hydrogen atoms plus we have 1 oxygen atom. So there are 3 total atoms. Question number 14. The electronic configuration of an ion is 288. As the word only ion is used, not the cation or anion, so it should or it could be cation or anion depending upon the electronic structure. So this is sulfide, S2 negative, indicates that sulfur has total 16 electrons. But when it gains 2 electrons, so total electron becomes 18, as 16 previously present. 2 electrons are gained, so its structure should be 2, 8 and 8. Whereas in calcium, the total electrons are 20, but the 2 positive charge indicates that 2 electrons have lost. So the structure will become 2, 8 and 8 again. Okay, so that's why we can say both the sulfide ion and the calcium ion have the structure shown 2, 8, 8. Next, 15. The lead in the pencil is made of mixture of graphite and clay. If the percentage of graphite is increased, the pencil slides across the paper more easily. Why is it? We can say that as graphite has layers in its structures and those layers can slide over each other, that is why graphite is used and act as a lubricant. So we can say graphite is a lubricant, and the reason behind the regular arrangement of the layers with weak forces of attractions, those layers can slide over each other, making graphite a lubricant. Question number 16. Which statement about gaseous hydrogen chloride? As we discussed in our previous questions, hydrogen is a non-metal, chlorine is a non-metal, so the bond between two non-metal is covalent. Whereas we discussed in question number 12 the sodium chloride. Here it is potassium chloride. Potassium is a metal, chlorine is a non-metal, so this will be ionic bond. This is the ionic bond. So keeping in mind, we can say the statement A is correct, as hydrogen chloride is covalent but potassium chloride is ionic. Proceeding to question number 17. For which compound is the formula correct? So we have to choose, or we have to eliminate all those which are incorrect. The correct formula of ammonia is NH3. We discussed in the previous video, but the formula is mentioned here, it is NH4, so we can say it is incorrect. Carbon monoxide is CO, not CO2, so that's why it is also incorrect. Iron 3 oxide, indicating that the formula of iron 3 oxide should be Fe2O3, but the formula here it is Fe3O2, so it is incorrect, leaving behind only one option, so this will be the correct option, as zinc hydroxide, in which the formula is zinc ZnOH whole twice. So you have to remember the charge of zinc is 2 plus, whereas the charge on the hydroxide ion is 1 plus. So when we combine these two ions, what we get? We get ZnOH whole twice. So the right option for this question number 17 is D. Proceeding, question number 18. The diagram shows the structure of hydrogen peroxide. And again, we have the shear lines. These shear lines indicate one pair of electron, as there are 1, 2, 3. Three single lines. We can say each line is representing one pair, mean 2 electrons. So there are total 6 electrons which are shared. So C will be the right option. Question number 19. In the molecule CH4, HCl, and H2O, which atom use all of their outer shell electrons in bonding? So for this question, a simple hint you have to remember, you have to keep in your mind is all those atoms which have completely half filled outer valence shell always shared all of their electrons. And this is only true for hydrogen, which has only one electron, and it requires one more electron to have its valence shell complete. So we can say its valence shell is complete to the half capacity. And same is the case with carbon. It has 4 electron in its valence shell and requires 4 more electron to have its valence shell complete. So only carbon and hydrogen have their valence shell complete to the half of its capacity, so they both are going to completely use up their valence shell electrons. Question number 20. For which compound is the formula correct? Again, you have to go for the elimination method. The formula for the ammonia we already discussed is NH3, but here it is NH4, so we have to eliminate this one. Then the formula for the carbon dioxide is CO2, but here it is CO, so we are going to eliminate this one as well. Again, the formula for the potassium. The symbol for the potassium is K, not P. So the correct option again is we can say the correct option is D, zinc chloride. So okay, so we have to eliminate C. Why? As the symbol for the potassium is K, not the P. So proceeding with the question number 21. The diagrams show the molecule of 3 elements. Again, as I clearly mentioned, this is the single one and is not involved in bonding, as it is any of the noble gas. And noble gas molecules, noble gas atoms will not involve in bonding with any of the other atom of the periodic table. So if we eliminate the structure 1, we can easily find our correct option. So we can say in option A, 1 is included, so we have to eliminate this one. As in option B, 1 is included, so we have to eliminate this one. We have to eliminate D as well, as 1 is also included in this part, so the right option is C. Now if we focus again, it asks about the water, and water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen can always exist as a diatomic. Oxygen also exists as the diatomic molecule. But oxygen is making a double covalent bond with another oxygen, whereas hydrogen is making a single bond with another hydrogen. So the model 2 and model 3 will combine to make water. Okay, proceeding again towards question number 22. The table shows the nucleon number and proton number of the atoms. How many are atoms of the non-metallic element? So here you have to use your copy of the periodic table, and you have to use the concept staircase. All those elements which are present to the left side of the staircase are metals, whereas all those elements which are present to the right side of the staircase are non-metals. So we can say these 3 elements, atoms, are present to the right side of the staircase, and we can say in this information 3 of the atoms are non-metallic. Next, 23. The table shows the electronic structures of 4 atoms. This is a metal, 2, 1, it is lithium. X is a non-metal and it is fluorine. So this is lithium, this is fluorine. So metal and non-metal will combine to make an ionic compound. So we have to choose A is the right option. X, W and X will combine to form an ionic compound. Question number 24. The table shows the properties of some substances. Which substance is a covalent compound? Covalent compounds usually have low melting and boiling point. So we have to eliminate option C and option D. So we're left with 2 options. Secondly, we know that covalent compounds generally does not conduct electricity in any of its form. So we have to choose option B as the correct option. So the hint for you is to recall the general properties of covalent molecules, compounds. You can understand this question easily. Question number 25. The table gives the properties of 4 substances. Which substance is a solid metal at room temperature? So again, a metal. Metals usually have high melting and boiling point. So here we have to eliminate this one first. Secondly, the metals are good conductor of electricity in both solid and molten state. So we have to choose option B. Why? As in solid and in molten, both of these states, it conduct electricity. But rest A and C both are non-conductor of electricity in solid state, and we can easily understand that metals are the good conductor of electricity in solid state. So question number 26. Which substance could be sodium chloride? Again, sodium chloride is an ionic compound. Ionic compound has a high melting and boiling point, so we have to eliminate this option. As its melting point is low, ionic compound have high melting and boiling points. Secondly, ionic compounds can conduct electricity easily in molten liquid state and in the aqueous forms due to the presence of free moving ions. So keeping in mind this point, we can choose option C as the right option as its melting point is higher. Secondly, the conductivity in liquid and in aqueous state is good. So we have to choose option C as correct option. So we will discuss the next page in our next video.